Hi everybody, Ryan Dohrn here, and welcome to this webinar. Today we're going to be talking about how to turn Facebook's recent changes into big ad dollars. But before we get started, I think it's very important for me to say a very special thank you to the fine folks at the Magazine Manager and the Newspaper Manager. If it wasn't for these fine folks, you would not be seeing this webinar absolutely free of charge today. You know, I always preach to everybody, hey, don't do anything for free. And so I better live by that mantra, and I don't. And so if Magazine Manager and the Newspaper Manager weren't sponsoring, this would cost you millions of dollars. No, I'm kidding. It would be still be available to you, but maybe not in the same format. So thrilled to have you here. Thanks to Mark and Andy and Christy and Jacob and everybody over at Magazine Manager and the Newspaper Manager. All right, so my name is Ryan Dohrn, as I said, and for those of you that don't know me, my company is Brainswell Media. We've been around for 15 years. I've been in the media business for 26 years. I still sell media today: webinars, digital magazines, print, webcasting, event sponsorships. I created the 360 ad sales system as my way of being able to put together a process that salespeople across the world can use and hopefully replicate to make a lot of money in the media sales business. I wrote the book Selling Backwards. I'm in the process of writing my third book now. Maybe we'll have a contest to pick the title of that next book. And my latest venture, which I'm sure you'll love, is called Ad Sales Nation. Ad Sales Nation is the podcast for media sales professionals. We get together once a month and we talk about topics just like this, like Facebook and all kinds of other things. We have tech tips, advertising tips, closing techniques. So you can check that out on iTunes, SoundCloud, Spotify, Amazon, Ad Sales Nation. You can find that on Facebook as well. Over the course of my 15 years of consulting, I've worked with over 400 magazines and newspaper titles. I've trained just over 5,000 salespeople in 7 countries. I do 50% B2B, 50% consumer, and so I know both sides of that business. Today, we'll have examples of both as we talk about Facebook. I started my career with Vance Publishing in Lincolnshire, Illinois in college. My last post was as a group publisher at the Penwell Company in beautiful but windy Tulsa, Oklahoma. Had great experiences there. Disney, Sinclair, Morris Communications. I've had a great media career, and I'm so blessed and so thrilled that all of you are here today to talk about it. I'm broadcasting live from my studios in a small town 7 miles from where this picture was taken. Do you recognize it? That is the Augusta National Golf Course, home of the Masters Golf Tournament. Takes place every year, first week of April here in Augusta, Georgia. I live right across the Savannah River in a little town in South Carolina called Beach Island, South Carolina, B-E-E-C-H, Beach Island, South Carolina, home to former Godfather of Soul. Well, former meaning he's passed on, but I think we should still call him the Godfather of Soul. Just a few miles down the road, Mr. James Brown is our fondest neighbor that's ever lived here. And so if you ever come to visit, there's all kinds of cool things to do in the greater Augusta, Georgia area. All right, when we're all said and done today, you're probably going to ask me, Ryan, where can I find out more information about this webinar? So let me take you to where you want to go. This is 360adsales.com. Let me walk you through it. If you're looking for ad sales training, here's the options for you. If you're looking for past webinars, the button is right on top for you. If you're looking for the blog that I write each month about ad sales, there's a blog for you. And if you're looking for the Ad Sales Nation podcast, you would click on the podcast link. Thanks to all of you for joining in on the Ad Sales Nation podcast. If you sell media, you are a part of the Ad Sales Nation. And so join us over at 360adsales.com. And we'd love to have you be a part of the Ad Sales Nation. All right, enough blameless, glorious self-promotion. Let's talk about what we're here to talk about today. And that is, Facebook made some pretty remarkable and deep changes on January the 15th, or right around that date. And it's a date that will forever go down as a big change in media history, in my opinion. So let's talk about action item number 1. Facebook's change is called Facebook's Meaningful Interactions Change. And the algorithm update is critical to all of us in the media business, but it is going to have some potentially negative impact on our advertisers. Now, I'm not a Facebook hater. I think Facebook has a place in advertising and media, but the recent changes that have been made are going to have a dramatic impact upon us as media companies and the advertisers. So really, what's going on? What's happened? Well, before we get to that, you need to be able to talk the talk if you're going to walk the walk. And so because of that, in today's environment, media sales environment, whether you're 25 or you're 55, you need to know what you're talking about out there, my friends. And so that's why we're hosting this webinar today for you. My goal at the end of this webinar is very simple. I want you to be able to take your sales life to places you never thought possible, because you're going to have great conversations with your advertisers. That's what we're talking about today, having a great conversation. All right, so the meaningful interactions algorithm change. What does that mean? Essentially, in a nutshell, it means that Facebook is limiting advertising inside of user feeds to increase interactions between users. Specifically, friends and family, what's happening is that as we're on our phones or whatever the circumstance is, we've started scrolling by and not paying attention to posts from media companies, from our cousins, from our mom maybe, or whatever. And instead, we're becoming very passive. So Facebook's change is hopefully to get us to engage more with other users, as well as if we create, as an advertiser, if we create really engaging posts, they want to reward us with more exposure and things like that. So the question is, can an advertiser actually create really amazing posts? Maybe not. And Facebook is limiting this advertising. So let me give you a fictitious, but an example that will make sense. Let's just say in any given day, there are 10 opportunities for you as an advertiser, Mr. or Mrs. Advertiser, to have your advertisement or your boosted post shown on Facebook. Let's just say before this change, there were 10 opportunities. Now it's been reduced to say 1 opportunity. So if you want your advertisement or your boosted post to be seen inside of your target audience's Facebook feed, number 1, you're going to need to boost that post. You don't have to, but boosting it is going to help. And that post is going to need to spark conversations and create some meaningful interactions. Meaning when you put a post online, Facebook is looking for people to like it, for people to share it, for people to comment on it. As a media company, you need to be doing the exact same thing. Media companies and advertisers out there, we need to be doing the exact same thing, creating posts that get engagement. People want to engage with those posts. When you do that, Facebook's going to reward you by featuring those posts more often. Now, some of you have questions about this. You're sending these questions through to me, and I appreciate that. Some of the questions so far are things like, can a boosted post for $1,000 underperform a non-boosted post that gets a lot of engagement? Good question, John. Good question. The answer is yeah. I mean, that could potentially happen. It's not about how much money you spend. Mark Zuckerberg does not necessarily need your money. I'm sure he likes to have it, and so do his stockholders. But yes, the answer is yes. A post that gets a lot of engagement and a lot of interaction could outperform a post that's potentially paid for. Now, I'm not speaking on behalf of Facebook. I'm not diminishing what Facebook is doing. I'm just trying to share with you, what can we as media companies do to make money from this? Now, some of you are like, I already know this. Get on to how we can make money. Hang on. Hold your horses. We're going to get there. It's important, though, for everybody on this webinar to understand, what does the change mean before we can actually sell it. So, and I know that I know who's putting that out there. I know you personally, so you just need to calm down, okay? All right, so who said this? Who's told us that this change is happening? Who is it? A lot of guys, a lot of folks, men and women, rather. Campbell Brown is probably been quoted. Him and Andrew Massary have been quoted the most. Campbell Brown is the head of Facebook's news partnerships. Here's what he said. We will prioritize posts in news feed that spark conversations and inspire meaningful interactions. Written like a lawyer. Let's dissect this. We will prioritize. What that means is they will feature more often posts in news feed that spark conversations and inspire meaningful interactions. So if you're a retailer or a business, you put up a post, it doesn't get any likes, it doesn't get any comments, it doesn't get any shares, and you pay to boost it. More than likely, they're going to serve your ad the minimum times that you've paid for, and your reach is probably not going to go much further. If you, however, conversely to that, create a post that gets a lot of likes, a lot of comments, a lot of shares, and you boost the post, the chances of your advertisement or your post being seen by more users grows exponentially. So what do we learn from this? As a media company or an advertiser, you need to create posts that spark conversations. It's written right here. Spark conversations and inspire meaningful interactions. That's what you need to do as a media company and as an advertiser. Here's the problem. The vast majority of the advertisers that we're working with have no idea how to spark a conversation or how to create a meaningful interaction. I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, their engagement is probably a 1, and a 10 would be awesome. 1 is probably where most of them are at. Some of you, as media companies here represented today, all you publishers, general managers, etc., you need to think about this. It's important for your marketing department to really understand this meaningful interactions change. Now, I'm not here to talk about media companies as much as how is this impacting our advertisers. Our advertisers are very often lost. Not all of us are like some of you that are here that have huge agencies and you're working with Chevy, Ford, Procter & Gamble. The vast majority of us that are on this webinar today are dealing with accounts that might spend, say, 30 to 50 grand a year or less with us. We're dealing with a lot of advertisers that say to us regularly, Facebook is my option of choice. Or they've said to us, Facebook is cheap. Social media is cheap. Advertisers, pay attention out there. We need to explain to them, the gravy train is over. It's over. It's going to be expensive to advertise, and you're going to need to create posts that engage and spark conversations. All right, thanks for your questions coming through. Keep them coming. I'm going to weave those into the conversations. We've got 865 people signed up for the webinar today. Thank you, by the way, for your support of all the things that I do. I sure appreciate it. Advertisers and media brands that do not or cannot adjust to this change will see their reach drop dramatically. Now, I'm in sales, so I'm prone to exaggerate and use big words like dramatically. I'm here to tell you that it is possible. It's highly possible your reach is going to drop dramatically. A colleague of mine that works with media brands sent over a couple of examples. Let me show you two. The information I received from my colleague is that this is a brand, and this brand didn't make any changes between December and February to their program. They're doing the exact same thing that they did, and look what's happened. The likes have gone down 17%. The reach has gone down 10%. The post engagement has gone down 28%. The video engagement has gone down 14%, and they've made no changes. Facebook made some changes, and look what's happening. Again, Facebook's not the evil giant in the room. They're trying to create a better experience for their users. Can you blame them? Here's another example. This is another media brand, another brand out there. They've made no changes in the last few months, and look what's happening. Their page likes are actually up a little bit, which is cool, but their reach is down 24%. January 17 to February 13, it's down 24%. They've made no changes, so clearly the Facebook change has impacted them. Post engagement's down 24%. Video engagement's down 13%. So you can see this is already happening, folks. If you don't believe it's happening, I don't really know what to tell you other than look at the facts. I'm not making this up. I'm not quoting people that aren't industry experts. I'm quoting people from Facebook saying that if you want your posts to be seen and you want them to be prioritized correctly, they're going to need to spark conversations and inspire meaningful interactions. Otherwise, your reach and your engagement is going to drop. Facebook's not wrong in doing this. They're actually pretty darn genius. They're trying to increase the user experience, and they're trying to help their advertisers get higher engagement on advertising. So it's pretty straightforward. Who else besides me is saying this? Before the change, Ad Age reported that less than 3% of your Facebook likes are going to be seen with an unboosted post. Now they predict even less. So Ad Age is saying it as well. Let me give you an example. Let's just say that you're Bob's Jewelry Store and you have 2,431 people that like your Facebook page. So, hi, my name is Bob, and I have a jewelry store. If I put a post on my Facebook page and I don't pay to boost it, before this change, less than 3% of people were seeing that post. So that'd be 72 people. Now, after the change, Ad Age is saying it's going to be less. It could be 1 or 2%. So let me be really clear. You're talking with an advertiser. Salespeople out there, pay attention now. Quit checking your email. Pay attention. I'm trying to have fun with you. Come on. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon on a Friday, right? The math is simple. If you are a business owner and you put a Facebook post on your Facebook page, if you don't boost the post and the post isn't meaningful, it doesn't inspire conversations or interactions, less than 3% of the people that like your page will see it. Probably it's closer to 1%. So if you have 2,400 people, Bob, as a jewelry store owner, less than 24 people are seeing that post. And if you think that's good, it's not. It's bad. So we as media brands need to create better posts. Our advertisers need to create better posts, but it's highly unlikely they're going to be able to. They need us now more than ever before. They used to be able to pay and just get seen a lot. It was pay for play in its finest. It was pay for play. Now it's pay for play plus you need to do something really great to get shares. We're going to talk about that. But more than anything before, I really feel like now's a perfect time. You know, somebody asked the question here in the chat box, is print dead? No, print is not dead. We're in a wonderful time in media where many people have tried social media and they're tired of it. And now they're coming back to traditional medias that are tried, that are trued, and that are trusted. I think that's what we really bring to the table. Action item number 3. The cost of advertising on Facebook is on the rise as impressions drop. The costs for your clients are going to go through the roof for advertising, especially as it relates to the meaningful interactions change. Now, Facebook will tell you that's not true. I'm here to tell you it's as simple as supply and demand. Here is a source from Atlas. Atlas is the source. The data is from Facebook and Centio. In Q3 of 2015, way over here on the left side, the ad impressions were low, cost was high. It crossed in the Q4, fourth quarter of 2015. It stayed apart. The ad impressions were high. The cost was low all the way through Q4 of 15, all the way through Q1 of 17 last year, January, February of last year. Then it crossed again. Right before the second quarter of 2017, the ad impression count dropped and the price went up. You know, Facebook is one of the only enterprises I've ever seen where they can give you less and charge you more. It's very interesting to me. It's like they're selling fine caviar or something like that. Now, if you look at this, this is genius. You gotta understand, I'm not a hater. This is genius. These people are genius. They're going to serve less ads. They're going to spin it as creating a better user experience. They're going to charge us more money and require more from us. So it's like going to a restaurant. They're going to charge you big money. And oh, by the way, you also have to wash the dishes. And if you don't mind helping cook and bus tables, that'd be awesome too, if you want your meal to be thoroughly complete. For me, when you think about this and look at this, this is a time in media, it's a shift. I think your advertisers are going to realize, wow, social media isn't cheap. I'm not getting good engagement. I need to go back to people that I trust. That's my mantra. That's my message. So how is it possible that you can serve less and charge more? Supply and demand, baby. That's what it is. Good old-fashioned supply and demand. Now, some of the questions that are coming through, I'm getting a lot of the same ones, so let me just clear up something. What I'm talking about is what Facebook has done that, in my opinion, is actually good for media companies. In my opinion, this is bad for advertisers because most advertisers can't complete the task that Facebook is wanting them to complete. Red Bull has a marketing department. Procter & Gamble has a marketing department. Facebook will tell you this is good for advertisers. And they'll tell you that because they're creating a path for you to get good engagement, good prioritization, and reasonable rates. If you can do all of these things, boost a post, create a post that has meaningful content, gets shared a lot, and has a lot of engagement. If you can do that as an advertiser, you're golden. This isn't really going to affect you that much. It's good for you. What Facebook is not telling you, or what Facebook is not sharing openly, is most of the advertisers on Facebook right now are not able to do this. So it's a simple supply and demand situation. Limited inventory means increased prices. You want some more proof? Some of you out there? Here's some more proof. Adam Mosseri, Facebook's head of news feeds. Facebook's goal in changing the news feed is to shift us from being passive to being actively engaged. Okay. This, in turn, will drive more interaction with ads. Okay. So that makes the ads more valuable. and expensive. Let's be honest. I've been doing this a long time. Some of you have been selling as long as me. Isn't that right? Ron is on here, 40-some years of selling. Joan, 40-some years of selling. Isn't that right? More valuable means more expensive. I mean, come on. Now, someone just sent something through and said, okay, so they want to get clear on something. If you're a business owner and you put a post on your Facebook page, do you have to pay? No, you do not have to pay. So in turn, that advertising is indeed free. But the reach is basically non-existent. The reach is almost zero. Now, if you create a post unboosted on your Facebook page, and that post has a lot of engagement, a lot of shares and things like that, sure, it's going to get seen, and it probably will get seen a lot more than you would expect. But if you boost it, it's going to get more. It's going to get seen even more. I'm here to tell you that I think it's unlikely, even though Facebook hasn't said this, I think it's highly unlikely that an unboosted post with good engagement is going to beat a post with good engagement that's also boosted, meaning you're paying for it. I just don't think that it's possible. Now, in my opinion, action item number 4, the Facebook audience has always been suspect. Always been suspect. And I'll take that phrase to the bank. The reason is because of the broadness of the exchange. All right, let me share with you an example. I don't know this client. I pulled them randomly from the internet. I searched women's apparel, Fort Worth, Texas. So I've got 2 great magazines down there that I work with on a regular basis, 360 West on the Fort Worth side of the Metroplex, and D Magazine on the other side of the east side, if you will, of the Metroplex. So this is in Fort Worth. Esther Penn is the store. Now, if you notice down here towards the bottom, this is their page. They've got 2,738 people that like their page. Good job, Esther Penn. All right, so I'm the owner, and I decided that I'm going to put a post up on Facebook. So here we go. January 23rd, they put up this picture. No January blues here. Smiley face emoji. Hashtag new arrivals. Hashtag Fort Worth. Hashtag rodeo wear. Hashtag feeling fresh. 3 likes. 0 comments, 0 shares. Now, am I a Debbie Downer about this? Have they done a bad job? No, I haven't necessarily done a bad job. But this post under the new algorithm is going nowhere. So they have 2,000. What was it? Let's go back. They have 2,000. Let me get my calculator out. 738 people that like the page times 0.200. Come on, Ryan. You can do it. 2,738 times 0.02. We'll give them some credit. 2%. 54 people of their 2,700 are going to see the post. 54 people. That's it. So if that's even right, okay? So if you're thinking about this, what are they going to need to do? They're going to need to create a post that inspires conversations. Maybe something like, what are you wearing this winter? No blues for us. What do you think of this? Maybe they'll create a contest, whatever. But the fact of the matter is this, most advertisers aren't going to be that creative. Most of those advertisers aren't going to come up with that on their own. I'm sure these are wonderful people. I'm sure the owners of the store are amazing, wonderful individuals. But for the most part, do they know a lot about Facebook? Well, I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. That's not enough to be effective. So what I would do if I was 360 West, I would be meeting with these folks, and I would be saying things along the lines of, hey, we looked at your Facebook page. Congrats, 2,700 likes. We can work with you to create contests, promotions, content to get your engagement levels higher so that we can work together. So I'm going to get to that in a second. We're going to share some ideas, but let's just say, for an example, that Esther Penn wanted to boost this post. Everyone says social media is cheap, right? It's cheap. Let's take a look at that. So here's the post. I want to boost it. So in the bottom, I'm going to choose boosted post. I'm going to begin by choosing my audience. So my audience is Fort Worth, Texas. I could drill into neighborhoods if I wanted to. 30 to 65 years of age, female. And I'm over here under budget. I can spend $20, $50, $200, $750. For $20, my estimated reach is going to be 2,000 to 5,400. 2,000 to 5,400. $50, 3,800 to 10,000. $200, 8,100 to 21,000. $750, my estimated reach is 17,000 to 40,000. Could we get any broader, Facebook? Could we get any broader for our money? All right, so let's just say you're 360 West Magazine. You're a newspaper in the area. You're D Magazine on the other side of the Metroplex. And someone's saying it's cheap. I don't know what's cheap about that. Let's say you're 360 West. And let's say you've got 40-some thousand readers. Your D Magazine, you've got 100-some thousand readers, whatever. For one single boosted post to reach the same size audience as one of these magazines, for one single post, you would need to spend $750 for one single post. What's the guarantee? The guarantee from Facebook is the minimum of $17,000, $8,100, $3,800, $2,000. They're going to get you that minimum. That's been my experience anyway. But now with the algorithm change, you honestly think you're going to get to $44,000? Come on, Mr. or Mrs. Advertiser. Take a look at your analytics. Print them out. Look at them together. As an ad sales professional, you need to know they're not looking. They're spending $20 and their reach is $2,000. They think it's freaking awesome. They think it's amazing, and it's not. It's expensive. If you were to follow this budget right here at $50 to try to, so $50, and you were to do that, say, 3 times a week, 4 weeks a month, you're spending $600. And for me, it doesn't make any sense at all. It just doesn't make any sense. The cost per thousands don't rationalize. They just don't. All right, so how do we, as media brands, salespeople like you and me, members of the Ad Sales Nation, baby, how do we make some big money from this? Well, here's how. Oh, coffee break. All right, let's take a quick break here for a second. Good coffee, by the way. A big shout out to the magazine manager and the newspaper manager for sponsoring this webinar and the coffee break today. The magazine manager is the CRM that I use, the customer relations management tool that I use here at Brainswell Media. I've been using it for about 3 or 4 years, and I love it. It's going to handle everything from prospecting all the way to billing your clients, production, everything in between, including digital magazine replicas as well. So reach out to the folks at the magazine manager or the newspaper manager. I think you're going to find it's going to increase your productivity and increase your profits as well. So thank you to Mark and Andy and Christy and everybody, Susan, everybody that's over at the magazine manager for your hard work. All right, back to the action. All right, let's just say that $175,000 in new revenue in 2018 is my goal. Who likes that idea? Anybody want $175,000? Couple of haters chatting across. Okay, good for you. Stop your hate. Stop your hate. Here's your stuff you've come to look for. It only took us 25 minutes to get there. When you have this many people online, folks, you get the nutcrackers out there. The nuts out there. All right. Action item number 5. In my opinion, what we want to do is we want to be creating unique content partnerships that drive engagement and spark conversations because our advertisers don't know how to do this. Now, you don't necessarily have to have some big, massive team. We'll talk about that in a second. You can outsource this work to companies like January Spring out of Denver. They're a digital agency that works with publishers. I'll talk about them more in a minute. For me, though, the unique content comes in sets of 3. Okay, everything comes in sets of 3 or multiples. And I do that because I want to inspire longer-term contracts. Question just came across. How do we not get one-offs? How do we not get one-offs from this? Good question. I try to sell multiple series articles on a topic that's important to the readers, and I break that into 3 parts. Let me give you some examples. Let me give you some consumer examples and then some B2B examples. 3 must-hike trails in West Virginia. Say that's sponsored by a pediatrician, a gym, somebody like that in the health business. 5 ways to raise a smart kid. Maybe that's sponsored by a family counselor, a private school, something like that. 3 ways to save for retirement. Maybe that's sponsored by a financial planner, a tax attorney, something like that. What I do is we take an article series and we create 3 shorter articles. Perhaps we feature these in the magazine or newspaper as well. Typically, they're featured online, and then we promote the living tar out of them on Facebook, on Instagram, on social media. And so we work together to sell these things to these advertisers as sponsored opportunities. At the Niche Conference coming up in March in Louisville, Kentucky, we're going to be talking about sponsored content. We're going to spend half of a day on selling sponsored content. That's a great conference, by the way, if you've not been. In the B2B business, I'm looking for multiple articles. 3 ways to drive down costs. 5 ways to grow market share, marketing ROI, 5 best pumps for 2018 sponsored by a consultant or a group that uses the pumps. 3 ways to reduce client churn, maybe sponsored by a consultant. You'll notice that I've always used numbers that are odd, like odd numbers. And I learned that from a smart cat, Joe Polizzi, that says Content Marketing World, Content Marketing Institute, co-writer of the book, Killing Marketing. Smart cat. And he and many others have said, always use odd numbers when you're doing lists. People like lists. So for me, the reason I do this is because I want to create multiple series that an advertiser can sponsor online, promote it on Facebook, etc. And then you want to work with your editors or freelancers, however you're doing it, to create little micro segments. So every week we want to be promoting this to inspire conversations. Maybe use videos as a way to inspire conversations on Facebook. This is going to help your clients because they don't have the content that they need. You have it. Help them write the content. Help them come up with the ideas. I mean, a lot of times what we're doing is we're selling advertising. Stop that. Stop selling ads. Selling ads is something that's not that hard to do. Being creative, now that's the hard part. Get creative, then you'll start finding some of your results. So let's just say that just one advertiser runs a 3-part series. And let's say that you get one of those a month. And let's say that 3-part series, so it's going to cover 3 months. Maybe you charge them $3,000, $1,000 a month. So if you've got 12 people that do that, that's $36,000 for the year. So there's $36,000 towards our $175,000. That was our goal anyway. Action item number 6, as it relates to the Facebook change. Facebook is giving priority to videos. And even though we know that YouTube is owned by Google and those guys all compete, it's important to understand Facebook is giving priority to videos. I know this in my own business because videos tend to drive engagement and interaction. Ha ha ha, that's funny, LOL, laughing emoji, crying emoji, bah ha ha, whatever the circumstance is. So whatever we're talking about, we want to be thinking about this. What is your plan for video? It's really important. Do you have a video plan? A lot of companies do, and they're making money from it. So show me the money. I'm sure that's what you're saying. Trade show videos, big money in that. I'll give you an example in a minute. Business profiles, profiling business owners, using that and featuring that on Facebook, on your website and other social media and charging for it. Case studies, meaning studies of your advertisers' clients. Great way to make money. Fashion shows. I've seen lots of city and regional magazines do fashion shows on Facebook. Very, very popular. Product debuts, press releases, news releases, things like that. What I have seen be very popular that's quite successful is Facebook Live sessions from advertiser stores, from trade shows. How many people were in the radio business like me many years ago? The radio business, we do things called radio remotes where the DJ goes live on location. And you do the same thing with Facebook Live. You feed it from the client's office or trade show booth. One of the people that it really inspires me to continue to do video in such robust ways is Angela here and Tim from Waterworld. I had an opportunity to work with both of these fine folks at Waterworld when I was at Penwell. Great publication. Great job with video. Angela does a weekly update that covers everything in the water business. These type of things can be done in any business that you have and can potentially be sponsored. Somebody asked, is that her full-time job doing video? No. I don't know Angela's role now. She should be the associate publisher if she's not the publisher. Just wink, wink, Angela. And they do a lot with video because Tim Dohrn, who leads that group, is a photographer. I mean, he's really good at video as well. Go to their website, waterworld.com, and check out. They have event videos. Check out what they do. Go down to the one that says WefTech. I think it's a great example. You notice how they collectively put all their videos together on the website. I know these guys, ladies and gentlemen, well enough to know they don't do much for free, if anything. So I'm going to imagine a lot of these are paid. I'm sure that, Amy at Waterworld would like me to say that she sells a lot of those and Kim and everybody. So keep in mind, all this stuff is paid and it can be shared on Facebook and integrated into Facebook. Work with your advertisers. They need content, friends. They need engaging content and we can give it to them now more than ever before. Facebook has delivered us a gem, a present wrapped up with a nice little bow. Give them the content they need. I think it's important. Here's a consumer example. These are the sponsored guides on St. Louis Magazine. Now, these sponsored guides are ones that you can download, and they're done in print and digital formats. I would suggest to St. Louis Magazine, hey, let's take this to the next level. Every one of these sponsored guides should have video integration and Facebook integration as well. So we take this awesome sponsored guides and we create from it some video content as well that our advertisers need and desire. Someone has chatted across, that looks and sounds expensive. Well, let me tell you how this works with St. Louis Magazine. St. Louis Magazine uses a content management system, a CMS called Metro Publisher. MetroPublisher.com. I use the same CMS for one of my side businesses called Sales Training World. And then the videos, there's actually a great way, a pretty simple way to use these videos in a real robust way. The video content, I like to work with event and wedding videographers. And the reason is because typically those folks are not that busy during the week. They're kind of closet geeks. They've got good gear. And these are the folks that are really easy to work with. They're used to dealing with brides and mothers of the bride and stuff like that. Now, if you want higher end production, if you want a production company, hey, give my brother a call over at the Denver Film Company. He'll come and work with you. Now, you're going to find the event videographers, a little more affordable than full-fledged production companies. But then again, do you need a full-fledged production company? Now, I know my brother does trade show after trade show after trade show and does big-time videos as well at the Denver Film Company, but there's a lot of resources out there. I like event and wedding videographers because they've got good gear, and I think they're fun to work with. So I think St. Louis Magazine could take this to potentially another revenue level. They've got in their home section, they've got all kinds of features of homes. I don't know if these are paid or not paid, but I would charge for them. And then what I would do, you can see the little icon up here in the upper left-hand corner. I would also create video content as it relates to it. So when I'm sharing this on Facebook, I'm going to get a better engagement and better reach with that. Everything I'm doing can be done in print, can be done in digital, online, e-newsletters, and of course, what we're talking about today, increasing Facebook's engagement. All right, so let's say one advertiser runs one 3-part video series per month. If you got 12 of them over the course of a year, $3,000 is what I'd sell the package for. That's another $36,000, which takes us $72,000 so far towards our 175 goal. All right, good questions coming across. Keep them coming. There's a lot of questions there, folks. I'll do my best to get to them. Some of you have no patience at all. Action item number 6. I'm sort of kidding. Contesting is huge. It's huge, and it stimulates audiences. Now, all the B2B folks, you're saying, oh, no, we don't do contests. Fine, call them promotions. People in the B2B business, they love contests too. They all love downloading white papers related to contests. Here's one. Oh my gosh, look at how good this looks. 2:00 in the afternoon. Recipe contest, the Great Eggo Waffle Off. Upload your pictures of what you've done with Eggo waffles. How about Eggo waffle nuts? Let go my Monte Cristo Eggo. Southern pecan bars a la mode with Eggo waffles. Cool contest. Here's one from Dove, and we can steal from this in the B2B space. They've got profiles of of their users of Dove. It's a contest all about moms and daughters and things like that. These are the type of things that we can steal these ideas from them. Here's a QWERTY.com contest. Win 3 free teas from QWERTY.com. And don't do laundry for a month. There's a lot of B2B companies that could do something along these lines. Facebook contesting is not for the faint of heart. I would really encourage you to understand how to do it and seek potentially some help. One of the best companies out there, they're not paying for inclusion in this. I just really like them. Matt Cohen's company, Second Street Media, is a great company. $300 to $400 a month. You have access to all kinds of contesting platforms for Facebook, Instagram, etc. They also can help you with your best of voting, A-list voting, things like that. So get some help from folks if you don't know how to do Facebook contests, because when you get some help, you're going to have better results for your advertisers. Partner with your advertiser and with Second Street to run some great contests. I love contests. And if you can get one advertiser a month to do a contest, say for $2,000, then you're talking $24,000 a year, which puts us $96,000 towards our $175,000 goal. So we're getting there. How about action item number 7, creating custom audiences for ourselves as media companies and our clients within Facebook's Ads Manager. Did you know you can do that? Yeah. What you do is you upload your email lists for precise targeting. Then you use that data within Facebook's Ads Manager to better boost your posts, to better boost your advertising. Question came across. What data do you need to upload? Good question. What I do is I basically just upload email addresses is what I do. If you work with a company like January Spring or Second Street or somebody like that, they'll help you with even further with targeting. But what I do is I try not to show ads to people that don't know me or my business in some capacity. I feel like I get a much better return on investment. You can help your advertisers with this. So you can take their audiences and load your audiences in, dedupe them, cross-reference them, and all of a sudden you've got a great winning scenario as it relates to those contests and promotions. Now, a custom promotion is what these are called. Typically, those are going to sell for $50 to $75 $1,000, meaning that if you were going to put this in front of, say, 40,000 individuals, okay, getting my handy calculator out. Clearly, I'm in sales, calculator always. 40 times $75 means at a minimum it's going to be about $3,000, for the promotion. So don't misunderstand the numbers. I'm not saying custom promotions sell for 55,000. I'm saying that if your total reach of your campaign is going to be 25,000 and you're selling it at $55 $1,000, it'd be like $1,300. Now the pricing piece can be a little tricky. So don't take what I'm saying here like to the bank immediately. We need to talk about it, and we've got to get on a phone call and strategize. In general, when you're doing custom promotions to targeted audiences, $55 to $75 $1,000. Now, somebody chatted across, I can get CPMs as low as $8 on Facebook. I'm not trying to be mean. Please don't misunderstand. Good luck with that. Those type of audiences, $8 $1,000, those are not going to be highly targeted audiences. I'm talking about taking the readers of a Dynamite magazine. I'm talking about uploading that data into Facebook to better target. You can't get that generic data from Facebook. I mean, let's think about this. Let's just say that you are in the septic pumping business and you're cold publishing and you've got Pumper Magazine as an example. Are you trying to tell me that you can go and find people that pump septic tanks or own those businesses for a living, that's in their Facebook profile, that Facebook is going to help me find people that have septic pumper in their profile on Facebook? No one's going to put that. Okay. I mean, they're famous for saying they're number 1 in the number 2 business, which I think is really, really funny. But you're not going to find that kind of targeting. We in the media business, we're in a unique spot right now. We can take these custom audiences and create them on Facebook and help our advertisers and charge them for it. If only one advertiser a month ran a custom promotion with you, and those custom promotions, as I said, $1,300 to $4,000, that's $48,000 a year. So we're at $144,000 so far. I'm getting closer to my goal of $175,000. How about action item number 8? Selling social media and related services. You don't need any extra staff to do this. That's where January Spring comes in. Now, let me just, as a point of note, let me explain. January Spring is a sponsor of my podcast. They pay to be included. But I don't just let anybody on the podcast. I'm not going to take money from somebody that I don't trust and somebody I don't use. I work with these folks. They're all in the media business. Here's how it works. It's really, really straightforward. What you do is your sales team goes out. You can sell SEM services, search engine marketing on Google. You can sell SEO services, search engine optimization services, website design, competitive conquesting, geo-targeting, programmatic, any of those type of things. Your team can sell them. January Spring will help teach your team how to sell those services. Then you're done. They're going to do it for your advertisers. Your advertisers will never know. It's called white label or private label servicing. So you can, at your company, expand your social media offering services. You can become a digital agency. I mean, literally overnight, your media company can become a digital agency, literally overnight, with a company like January Spring. Hey, if you like that idea, check them out on my podcast, Ad Sales Nation. Every month, Charity or Shannon is on the show. This month, we're talking about Facebook, so they'll be there. Now, if you only had 6 advertisers, spending $40,000 a year, okay? So what you would have, 40 divided by 6, just want to make sure that, so you're about 6 advertisers. It's going to generate around, $40,000 a year for you. I think it's pretty darn good. That takes us, holy cow, over goal, my friends. Goal over goal. $184,000 per year. So for me, I think that's a great way to go. Now, where do we grow from here? What do we do with this information? 2 sides to this, friends. 2 sides. Actually, 3 sides. First side, figure this out. From a media company's perspective, we need to be doing this with our marketing teams. We need to be doing it right. Secondly, salespeople. You've got to wrap your head around this. You have to wrap your head around this. You've got to understand it. You've got to embrace it. Watch the video over and over again. You can't ignore this. It's not going away. Okay? Third piece, what do we do to increase print as it relates to this? Bundle, 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 baby. Bundle, baby, bundle. You've got to put all these things together in packages that are marketing promotion packages that make sense. Here's the big takeaway, though. I hope you can sense this. Superstar salespeople are creative. They're organized and they're creative. I've referenced people all the time. Some of the most creative salespeople I've ever worked with are highly, highly creative. One of the most creative sales people I've ever worked with is a woman. Her name is Mary. Mary still continues to sell, and she is just amazing. And she's highly creative. That's what she does best. She comes up with really revolutionary ideas. She'll take something like this and run with it. Don't get creative, then get left behind. I think that's really important piece. Get creative, but really wrap your arms around this meaningful interactions change and take it to the next level. Now, people are chatting across, give me more information, more information. There's literally hours and hours and hours of information on this. If you want to learn about sponsored content, learn about selling these type of things, learning about growing your audience, attend conferences and webinars. Go to the Niche Media Conference you'll see folks that are here on the webinar today. Mike Obert from Open Look Business Solutions, the folks from Magazine Manager, Rob Restigno from Sterling Woods Group. All these folks are going to be at the Niche Media Conference in Louisville. Did I say it right? Louisville in March. Go to that conference and check it out. I'll be there. I'll even buy you a free drink or 2 or whatever. I mean, you need to embrace all of this. So that's where you grow from here. And I think it's, a vitally important piece of the equation. All right. So more information for you as we wrap up. And thanks for being here today. Having 800 some people participate is it's really humbling, to be honest. It's not necessarily surreal or something like that, but it's very humbling. I really appreciate it. I mean, I really, really do. That you would value your time enough that you would spend some time over here listening to me and to me sharing this information. 360adsales.com is the website. Love to train your teams. I can train your teams and go to meeting just like we're doing right now, or come live to your office. Anywhere from $2,500 to $5,500, depending what you need. Or I can come work with your team all year. And I do that with a lot of folks as well. Don't forget, on the website, you've got past webinars, the sales blog, podcasts. But before we sign off, I just really, again, want to tell you how fortunate we all are to have companies like Mirabel Technologies, the Magazine Manager, and the Newspaper Manager sponsoring webcasts like this. If it wasn't for people like these, this type of webinars wouldn't be so widely available. I would be a little more private. I wouldn't share so much stuff. And so I'm an expensive cat. So make sure you reach out to these guys, these ladies and gentlemen, and thank them for this webinar, How to Turn Facebook's Recent Changes into Big Ad Dollars. For me, if you can take some of these ideas and turn them into $175,000, I think that was well worth your time. All right, friends, we've got lots of questions that have been sent in. Unfortunately, we're out of time. Feel free to reach out to me, Ryan@RyanDohrn.com, Ryan@RyanDohrn.com, Dohrn. It's right there on the bottom of your screen. The website is 360adsales.com, and please come join us over on iTunes and check out Ad Sales Nation. You can watch it in your browser, watch it on Spotify, and all those things. Remember, if ad sales was easy, everybody would be doing it, and they're not. So we're either crazy, which is possible, or we found a career that will feed our families for a lifetime. All right, friends, God bless. We'll see you out on the street. Thanks again, Andy, Christy, Mark, all the fine folks over at the Magazine Manager and the Newspaper Manager. Oh, Greg at the Newspaper Manager. Thanks, everybody, and I hope you have a great weekend. See ya.